whispered logic puzzles. Thank you for joining me. I'm Andrea, and I'm going to continue in the Pictopix app, playing through the current mosaic. We're on the second mosaic, the fourth row. And so here we go. Okay, I'm going to start with the top row. This is a 15 by 15 Pictopix. And since the top has 15, that makes it a real easy beginning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, so now I'm going to look at the tops of the columns. So this one starts with a 2, so do 1, 2, X. This starts with a 9, do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then an X. This starts with a 10, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then an X. This one starts with 10, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then an X. This column starts with a 10, and then has a 4, which it makes 14, and the X in between makes 15. Since it will fill the whole column, we can do the whole thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then an X. Then 1, 2, 3, 4. This next column starts with a 5, then plus 4 is 9, plus another 4 is 13. The X here makes 14, and the X here makes 15. So we'll do this whole column. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, X. 1, 2, 3, 4, X. 1, 2, 3, 4. This next column starts with a 2, X here is 14, X here is 15, so we'll do the whole column. 1, 2, X. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. X. 1, 2, 3. This next column is 11 plus 3 is 14, and the X in between makes 15. So I'll do this whole column. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, then an X. 1, 2, 3. This next column is the same. 11 plus 3 is 14, plus X makes 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, then an X, and 1, 2, 3. Okay, this next column starts with 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and an X. This next column starts with an 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then an X. This next column starts with 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, this row is a 15, so I'm missing 1 here and 1 here. Now if we look up in this column, this 1 is the beginning of 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and an X. And if we look up here, this 1 is the beginning of 8. Do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and then an X. Okay, now we've completed several more rows. Down here we've got 13. I've got the X's over here, and I'm only missing 1, so we'll put the 1 in right there. And in this column, this 1 is the beginning of 2. So 1, 2, and an X. This column starts with a 2 that I don't have, so we'll do 1, 2, and this row is complete. This column, I see this is the beginning of a 3. So 1, 2, 3, and an X, and another X because this column's complete. In this column, this is from a 3 also, so 1, there's the 1, 2, 3, and completed that. Okay, in this row, these are part of a 6. I have 2 here and 2 here, so I need 1, 2 more. This row is a 15, so I need 2 more here and 5 more over here. So 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now I'm going to look back up this column. This is part of a 3. I have the 1, 2, 3, then an X. This is part of a 3 also, so 1, 2, 3, the X. And get over here, this bottom row is also complete. Okay, in this row, we have 11. So I have 8 towards the 11. So I'll do 9, 10, 11. And this first puzzle is complete. So let's move on to the next one. Again, if I start with the top, I can go clear across. This next column starts with a 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then an X. And this column also starts with a 9, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then an X. This column starts with 8. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then an X. This column starts with 8. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And this column starts with an 8. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then an X. Just realized I forgot the X here. This column starts with 5. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then an X. This column starts with 8. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then an X. This column starts with a 1, and then an X. This column starts with a 2, so 1, 2, and then an X. This column starts with 9, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and an X. This column starts with 10 and then has 4, which is 14. The X in between makes 15. So we'll do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 6, here's 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, X, 1, 2, 3, 4, then X, 1, 2, 3. And looking here, just completed this bottom row. Okay, so these rows are done. This row is a 10 and then a 4. So I'm only missing 1. We'll put it right there. And then that's the beginning in this column of a 6. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then an X. Okay, and then this row is also a 15, so I'm only missing 1. Put it right there. And then in this column, that's the beginning of a 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then an X. Okay, this row is 14. There's one cut out at the end. I only need 1 right here, so I'll do 1. And in this column, it's the beginning of 2, so 1, 2, and X. Okay, in this row, we're only missing a 6 in the middle, and we have 6 squares. So we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this column that begins at 2, so 1, 2, and this column is complete. And this column is complete. This column is complete. This column is complete. This column is the beginning of 2, so I have 1, 2, and this column is complete. This column is the beginning of 3, so I have 1, 2, 3, and this column is complete. Okay, now looking at rows. This row starts with a 3 and then has a 4, so this will be 1, 2, 3, and over here we have the 1, 2, 3, 4, and then looking this starts at 2, so I have 1, 2, and now this column is complete, and this column is complete. Okay, over here this is the beginning of 3, so I have 1, 2, 3, and this column is complete. And this is the beginning of 4, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we come over here. This row, this is part of a 3, so I have 1, 2, 3. And then in this column, there's 2, so 1, 2. There we go, we've completed the second puzzle, so we have 1 more to finish this row out. So let's go ahead and do this third one. this next column is the same, and 11 plus 3, which is 14. X in between makes 15. We'll start at the bottom. 1, 2, 3, and an X. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. This next column has 9, plus 1 is 10, plus 3 is 13, X here is 14, X here is 15. I'll start at the bottom. 1, 2, 3, X, 1, X, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This next column is 12 plus 2, which is 14. The X in between makes 15. I'll start at the bottom. 1, 2, X, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. The next column is again 12 plus 2, which is 14, and the X in between makes 15. I'll start at the bottom. 1, 2, X, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, this next column has 6, plus 5 is 11, plus 2 is 13, the X here is 14, the X here is 15. I'll start at the bottom. 1, 2, X, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, X, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, this next column is 12 plus 2 is 14, plus the X in between is 15. I'll start at the bottom. 1, 2, X, 1, 2, 3, is also 12 plus 2, which is 14. The x in between makes 15, and I'll start at the bottom. So 1, 2, x, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, this next column doesn't fill the whole thing but ends with a 1, so I'll put an X. Again, 1 and then an X. And again, 1 and then an X. Now this column is 13 plus 1, which is 14. The X in between makes 15. So we do fill this column, so we have the 1 and X. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. This next column is also 13 plus 1, which is 14. X in between makes 15. I'll start at the bottom with the 1 and X. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. This next column is 4 plus 8, which is 12, plus 1 is 13. X here is 14. X here is 15. I'll start at the bottom. I have 1, then X. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, Please call him